Daniel Tammet was the guy you saw in that video. He is on the autistic spectrum as an Asperger, you know, a higher end one. And born in 1979, he has synesthesia, so every integer up to 10,000 has its own shape, color, and feel. Like, for example, number 4 is timid, like him, he said. 37 is lumpy, like oatmeal. And 111 is shiny and bright. So, you know, that's how come he can remember every one of them, because they're people to him in one sense. They've got their own character, and so that's how he remembers them. They're just, and he didn't assign them that. They're just that way to him, you know. So he learned Icelandic in 1 week, and he got tested on national television, and you can watch that test when they interview him live at the end of that week. But he speaks English, Finnish, French, German, Lithuanian, Esperanto, Spanish, Romanian, Icelandic, and Welsh. So again, all these people, look them up online. You'll have an endless, you know, amount of fun doing this. Yes?
Kristen, the mother of Luke Lacoste is here. Her son has Asperger's.
Yes.
And he has memorized every detail of World War I, World War II, and his mother is present this afternoon.
They are extremely intelligent. And some of the research that I have found most interesting is that the reason why people that are autistic have such a hard time, like, for example, they don't often want to look you in the face, and they have what seems to be you know, abnormalities, when in reality what they think is it's sensory overload. It's so, they're accessing so much of the information that we take for granted, because we're all processing this. We're all taking in the temperature. In fact, your body, this Japanese scientist, he studied sweat for 40 years. I can think of a lot of other things I'd rather study for 40 years, but he studied sweat for 40 years, and he said that 1/20th of a degree change in Celsius in air temperature, and your body's starting to compensate. Your body is just relentlessly trying to keep you in the happiest, healthiest, most comfortable state of being. So anyway, of all this information that your body's adjusting and responding to and tracking, autistic people are just overloaded with a lot more access to it, and it's just too much. And so that's one of the reasons why they seem so different. They're really just accessing a lot more of this. So Jeremy Schuler, math prodigy, and he's one of the many, you hear all the time about, you know, somebody graduating from college at age 12 or something like that. There's you know, quite a few of these. But what I found interesting about him was his language ability. At 17 months, his mother noticed, well, she was writing in Hangul. It's a Korean alphabet. And so when she was typing, he showed an interest, and so she showed him what each of the, you know, symbols were and made the sounds for all of them. And in less than next day, she found him comfortably reading Hangul. So she quickly realized the English was the same way, and once he realized that, then he taught himself he was reading English very short time later. So language ability at very young, you know, it's just amazing. He could read full books on his own by the age 12. I mean, two, sorry. I hope he could read a book by age 12.